You want to have good structure in your work, but what does it actually look like? I'm David Stiernholm, and this 629th episode of Done is about how to navigate a typical intense day with good structure. But first, in everyday work, it's not just the big solutions that are important, but also the small details that can have a major impact. You can increase productivity by making small but crucial changes. How? Well, let me give you an example from my woodworking shop in a short post on the Structure blog. There's a link there in the show notes. It's okay if things don't go as planned. You have a plan for the day, but it'll most likely change due to unexpected events. That's normal. With good structure, you can handle these occurrences and still have a good day, even if your plan doesn't work out. Emil contacted me and asked me to share how to navigate a day when things don't go as planned until you can close your computer for the day. As I see it, you and I need 4 components in our structured working method on an abstract and overarching level. The first, a place or tool where you keep track of everything you need to do. The fewer places, the better. For example, a to-do list and your calendar. The second, a maximum interval for how often you check if there's something new in the channels of information you use, meaning an idea of how long it's acceptable for you to wait between each check-in. The third, a clear criterion for why a task is important, meaning what makes one task more important than another. And the fourth, a rhythm for when you take breaks, how long they are and how you take them. Your plan for the day is expressed in your to-do list, or rather the tasks from the list that you intend to do today, regardless of time. And in your calendar, where you have scheduled time-dependent tasks, meetings for example. A meeting is a task that has the characteristic of being done with others at the same time. From this task, new to-do tasks may arise, just like with any task. Unless you do them immediately, you need to add them to your to-do list easily and efficiently. So you start working on your plan. When something unexpected comes up in your email or chat, or when a colleague physically stops by on the phone or in any other channel, you'll find yourself in one of 2 everyday prioritization situations. You'll be faced with a question: should you finish what you were doing or drop it and do this new thing that came up instead? Because, of course, you want to do what's right in every moment, the right task to spend time on. What determines your prioritization is a combination of how important and urgent a task is. What you want to achieve is what decides what's important. Often, you have concrete goals that you want to achieve. In that case, it's your responsibility to prioritize based on those goals. And consequently, the tasks that contribute to getting you closer to those goals are important. As long as you choose the most important task, and often the most urgent one, in every prioritization situation, you'll make the most of your day and your resources, even if you don't follow your original plan. To easily do the right thing, you want to be interrupted infrequently enough that you have time to complete many tasks, but also frequently enough to be alerted to any higher priority tasks that may have arisen. You want to have as few interruptions as possible, but also be interrupted by things that can draw your attention to something of higher priority that you may not have seen because it didn't exist when you chose to start the task you were working on. You actively look for what's new and has come up as often as needed to achieve your goals with the least effort possible. When you finish a task, you are faced with the next common prioritization situation: choosing the next task to work on. What's the right thing to do next out of everything I'm keeping track of that I haven't done yet? The calendar shows you when to start a specific task, often a meeting, because the time has come. You take breaks frequently throughout the day so that you have the energy to complete the workday. And in my opinion, the basic workflow looks like this. First, you work on a task. Then you see that something new has come in that requires you to do something. And you choose between continuing with the task at hand or switching to the newly arrived task. You make your decision based on your criteria for what determines a task's importance. When you finish a task, you choose the right next task to work on. When it's time for something in your calendar, you drop what you're doing and do what's scheduled in the calendar. For example, having a meeting with someone. And occasionally, you take a full break and then continue working. As you can see, there are plenty of details to structure in this. The details that all of my structure tips and talks are about, practically speaking. Do this. Check with yourself that you have organized the 4 components I mentioned earlier to suit you and your work. If something needs to be fine-tuned, do it immediately or add it to your to-do list. If you haven't already, decide how long it's okay to wait before checking for anything new in each information channel you use. If you don't already do it, be sure to choose tasks based on the criteria you have set for what is important instead of what feels best, seems most urgent, is nagged about the most, is the most fun, you feel the most guilty about, etc. If you, like me, easily forget to take breaks, decide on an interval to try for the remainder of this week. Set alarms on your phone to remind you when it's time to take a break. Because if you work systematically, you won't be as affected when your plan doesn't hold up. You can't predict everything that happens in your plan, but at any given moment, you choose to do what's the proper task according to your criteria. Together, the day's completed tasks result from a series of correct decisions. If you ask me, you can't ask for more from yourself other than to fine-tune your work process so that the unexpected events are as few as possible. Do you have a different abstract image of your structured work process? Show it to me or tell me. You can reach me as usual at david@stiernholm.com and I would be happy to hear your thoughts. Thank you for today and see you again next week.